And we are live on a snowy Wednesday night. No, Thursday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, man. Rough,
Time's
rough,
flying.
rough. What's going on? We're going to start with Mr. Carson tonight. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing
Carson
well.
Shear.
I'm trying to stay warm, and it's snowing here in Michigan right now, like you said. So I'm trying to stay warm, but I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. We're going to get into this something later because we all owe you a big an apology later on for what we thought about your boys last week. That's all I'm going to say. Mr.
Uh,
Siciliano, how are you? Back with the Alabama hat.
Good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, good. And Mr.
Good.
Kirkpatrick.
I'm doing well as always. We had ice storm here. We didn't get the snow, but the ice is just as bad, the freezing rain.
yeah.
Driveway was a sheet of ice. We got that taken care of. The other thing I want to mention, anybody who's out there listening in the audience, YouTube, we had a nice little tribute show for our good friend Michael Briggs. Please go and check that out, especially if you knew him. And even if you didn't, go check out our tribute show to him yesterday on K&K. It was a nice show. I think.
Yes, absolutely. Great tribute show to our guy, Mr. Briggs. And like Kenny said, I will, and tomorrow I'm going to probably share it tonight, Kenny, right? I'll reshare it again?
Yeah, share it again tonight for everybody.
I'll reshare it again tonight. But great participation. And again, going forward, maybe even on our Wits and Wages, but definitely on our K&K, we're going to come up with a little Briggsy segment that's going to be cemented for in our show going forward.
Yep.
What do we got
Awesome.
on the agenda tonight, Mr. Kirkpatrick?
On the agenda tonight, of course, we got our Wits and Wagers part. We're going to have some college basketball picks later on. Jenny Hoops is going to be joining us for college basketball talk as well. Then our good friend who was on last week with us, Marty Joins, is going to be coming on again and doing a little top 10 LA versus New York athletes of today, which actually I thought of because of our friend Carson. And the reason why is because I was listening to a show and they said Matthew Stafford was the top athlete in the Detroit area. But in LA, there's such a stacked abundance of athletes, he barely cracks the top 10 or 15. So I said, you know what? LA, New York, Carson, if you want to play along and you can come up with one or two Detroit athletes
Sure.
that you want to throw in there, we could do it. But, we'll have a little fun with that later. Marty's going to join us for that. And then we didn't do any – yesterday was all about our friend Michael Briggs. So we got some headline news to start it off, Kurt.
Real quick, Kenny, does somebody have the volume on at all? I hear like a little volume somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to put myself on mute for a second. We'll start with the headline news, Carson Wentz.
Okay.
You take it over, Kurt. I'll be right back.
All right, so today, breaking news, as Mr. Kirkpatrick said, Carson Wentz traded from Philly to Indianapolis. They now have their quarterback. I believe it was a third-round pick and a second-round pick, which can potentially become a first-round pick, whether percentage of plays or if they make the postseason. So
Did the tight end kid go with him or not?
he has not gone yet. There's rumors that he may go.
Okay.
So let's start with you, Sis. What's your thoughts on the Colts acquiring Wentz? Do you like it for them? Do you think the Eagles got somewhat of a fair deal? And how do you think Wentz will do in Indy?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that the Colts went for him. I really am. Especially that he always gets hurt. And, obviously the Eagles wanted to get rid of him, and they did. But only time will tell, But I was a little shocked that they rolled the dice and took a shot on him. There's a lot of other quarterbacks around.
Carson, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, just kind of piggyback off what Sis said. I found the news out today, and it was actually from the Pat McAfee show. I heard about it, and it was just kind of a matter of time for Carson Wentz to leave. Obviously, I remember like when he first got drafted, like Philadelphia fans were so super stoked. They're like, this is our quarterback of the future. He's going to take us to the promised land. And then like Sis was saying, he just had injury after injury after injury after injury. So it was only a matter of time before he was going to get dealt. Obviously, Philly's moving on to Jalen Hurts and what the future holds for them. I kind of like the move, though. He's in the NFL. He's played some games. He's made some big moves. He had a couple rough seasons these past couple of years, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Colts. And I'm kind of shocked as well because Jacoby Brissett when Andrew Luck retired, he actually had a decent year, his first year with the Colts as well. I thought he was going to be named the starter, but then obviously they thought otherwise. And apparently Carson Wentz, if he can stay healthy, he'll be the next quarterback for the Colts.
Mhm.
Kenny.
I love the move. I can honestly say the Super Bowl year when he got hurt, I said to myself, it was the year after he got hurt and Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. I was down in Wildwood, New Jersey for the classic show, Irish Weekend. It was the end of September. And I said to my friend, I said, Philly fans are going to turn on Carson Wentz if he doesn't have a good year. And he ended up, doing okay that year, but they turn on their quarterbacks. They turn on anybody. Okay. They booed Santa Claus, they're ruthless fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
What the Colts gave up, a second round pick this year and a third round pick this year and a possible first round pick in 2022. Conditional pick. It could be a second round pick.
It could go up
No
to
brainer.
it. Could go up.
No
to,
brainer. I think the GM. I think they sat with Frank Reich and they asked him, and Frank Reich said, "I can make this guy great again."
Listen, I was going to, before I get to you, I want to read from our good friend Ross Artal saying, great deal for the Colts. They have a balanced offense and a good O-line. Eagles had no balance and a terrible line. Coach Breslin, thank you again for joining us, Coach Breslin. Of course, thank you, Ross, for joining us.
What's up,
Coach
Breslin?
Breslin, thank you for everything again you always do for us. Great move by the Colts, back with Wright. Chip on his shoulder, something to prove. Kenny, I love what you just said when you said how Wright said, I can win with him. I love when a coach goes and gets his guy. And he vouched for him. Now, they may be tied to the hip where if they don't win, they both could be gone. But I love that move because he did
I love
succeed.
the move. And and Ross and Coach hit it on the button, the O-line.
Yes.
The O-line is key. He was running for his life every other play, no matter who they were playing. Now, I know they lost Costanzo to retirement, but they still have Nelson on that line, running that offensive line. They got a running game in Taylor. Looks like they got their future running back. Don't be surprised. Sis was saying Ertz might follow. Sis and I were talking today. He said, don't be surprised if Ertz goes where Wentz goes.
Yes.
That was the rumor. Yeah.
That's the rumor,
That's
says,
his
yeah.
guy. I can see that happening. Another Eagle guy going to the Colts with Frank Reich's offense. And that's when Ertz had his monster years.
Yep.
So I could see that happening. So I think it's a no-brainer move. They didn't even give up a first-round pick. They need a quarterback because they weren't going to get one at 21 where they're picking this year. So, again, I think no-brainer move, and I think it's a good move. And now, the Eagles are already talking. Are they going to take a quarterback? Like already the talk is, do they believe in Hurts or are they going to go?
Oh, no, they're saying they're going to – I was hearing a couple things today saying by the way, Coach Breslin saying absolutely O-line plus Jonathan Taylor, and he's asking us, how are we doing, guys? So
doing great.
Doing good.
Good coach yourself. Mhm.
I heard today, Kenny, they were saying that they don't want to just hand Hurts the job. So whether they draft – I don't know if they're going to draft him first round, or they're going to go get somebody. But they said they want to have some kind of competition. They just don't want to give, Hurts the job. Phil Benanti, what's up going on, Phil? Saying
and
he
by
has
the way,
better...
guys, I was going to say this for when Marty comes on, but I'll bring this up. I don't know if Marty wants to hear this, if he's listening. The Carson Wentz signing, last week we started a game. It gave the four of us 5 points. Marty had the Bears, Philly, as his double. So he has -1 point because he took 2.
Okay.
Sorry, Marty.
Okay. Phil Benanti
There's
saying...
a lot of players to come back. It's just the start.
Kenny, real quick, Phil Benanti, our good friend, saying he has better weapons around him. So he does. He's got good weapons.
I agree. I think it's, I think to end it, to end that headline, I think it was a good move by the Colts and a needed move by the Eagles. They have the free cap space.
Yes.
So
Agree.
And they were behind the 8 ball. They had to get rid of him by a certain time, and GMs are smart. They know they were not getting a first round pick for him, and if they wanted to get rid of him, this is what it is. So they had to do it.
All right. So that's the football news of the day. Yesterday, some baseball news broke. Fernando Tatis Jr. signed you ready, sis? I don't want you to fall off your chair. A 14-year, $340 million contract. Bobby Blackjack saying Kurt's not wearing orange. It's going to snow. Oh, wait, LOL. No
Yeah,
orange
no,
tonight.
right?
But sis, what do you think of a 14-year, $340 million?
That's totally insane. I mean, so many things could happen in a 14-year period. And how much was the price?
340.
That's insane. Nope. Sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna jump on Sis's bandwagon. I mean, listen, 2 years. You know, I just got the stats going on right here. He's batting 301, 300. 39 homers, 98 RBI. I mean, it's way too early to sign something like that. And again, baseball's guaranteed. So he's getting that money. So like Sis said, 10 years down the road where, he has to play first base and he can't run, they're going to be paying him this money. So I'm with Sis. Carson, you with Sis, or you think they should have given him the money?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say because he's so young. Keep in mind, this kid is 22 years old. I'm turning 22 this year. That's like me signing a $300 million deal. Now, granted, I'm not as talented as Fernando Tatis Jr., but, props to him and his agent because they secured the bag on this one. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. I wish him nothing but the best of the Padres. Do they have, potential to make the World Series? Maybe. It's gonna depend on him and their pitching rotation. But yeah, props to him, man. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens. I hope it's not kind of like a Manny Machado situation where they gave him a ton of money and he's kind of wishy-washy now. So, and like you said, baseball, there's no salary cap, so it's guaranteed money for him that just keeps going up and up and up and up.
Yep. Coach Breslin saying that is a scary contract. They were trying to catch the Dodgers. They're still behind them. Kenny, what's your thoughts?
I agree with Coach. I agree with Sis and you and Carson. Crazy contract. 14 years. Did it work with Alex Rodriguez in Seattle?
It hasn't worked with anybody.
Did it, they ended up getting traded after 5-6 years, and I'll bring up another guy. Kevin Moss. Greatest first baseman. I don't know. Kevin Moss played on the Yankees back in the 90s, Carson, and came up and he hit, I forget how many home runs he hit.
Oh, it was a monster, like 7 out of 8 games. Yeah.
And then he was going to be the greatest thing since Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth for the Yankees. And he was going to take over for Don Mattingly. And he was a complete bust. But we didn't get to that contract with him. My point I'm making is Tatis has only had 1 full year. Last year wasn't a full year. Okay?
Yeah.
Who knows? It may come out that he can't hit the inside change
side of a barn.
And he turns into a Gary Sanchez and batting 150.
And that's just it too. Baseball is probably one of the most demanding sports. I mean, you play in 162 games a year. You got injuries left and right. I mean, I can tell you guys this. Growing up as a Tigers fan with Miguel Cabrera, he used to be the top of the line. We gave him a ton of money, and then all of a sudden, he's just not the same as he once was. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But especially with baseball, I mean, you're playing every day, so it's going to be crazy. Can you keep up those numbers? We'll see.
Yep.
Kurt, I'm going to bring in Jenny Hoops.
Okay.
And I just wanted everybody's quick rapid fire thoughts, like 30 seconds each. Or, Michael Jordan started a NASCAR team this week. Wanted to know if anybody had any interest. Like, did it change your thoughts on NASCAR? Are you interested in it? Carson, you have any interest in NASCAR at all? Or Michael Jordan?
I was watching the Daytona 500 this past weekend, and I saw that crazy pile up right from the get-go in the race. But, props to MJ. I mean, the GOAT just keeps getting, I guess you could call it, even more goated. He investing any way he wants to do. Not only is the greatest basketball player ever, he's one of the greatest businessmen ever. He bought, obviously owns the Charlotte Hornets, and now he's taking an avenue in NASCAR. So I like it, man. Nothing wrong with the move at all. Good for him.
Awesome. Jenny, Hoops, thanks for joining us. Just doing a quick.
What's up, Jenny?
Quick 20-second.
Here's Mrs. Valenti.
Recap on NASCAR real quick.
You know what, Kenny, I'm disappointed in you. I am very disappointed in you. You know why? Because Coach Breslin I'm disappointed in myself and you. because Coach Breslin just broke some news that it was news yesterday. And how do we not start the show off with this? Tim Tebow, my guy, retired from baseball.
I don't want to hear we. You. He's a Bronco, right, Jen? He's a Bronco. There's no we.
Exactly. He's gonna drag you down with him, Kenny.
And I'm gonna break a little news to you guys because Coach Breslin's also saying he's coming back to the Broncos. Kurt should be wearing orange today. I saw a tweet, and you know me with Twitter, Kenny, but I saw a tweet from somebody, and it said, "Now, sis, you're gonna love this. You ready? Tim Tebow," and I'm not making this up, I swear, because Jen, you could be my witness. I told you. It was a tweet from like some kind of like a backside source that said he was spotted running routes, like receiver routes, and it just had an emoji like, Any shot, he says, I want to be Taysom Hill. I'll play anywhere NFL. Got anything?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Just saying.
Too old.
Sis, you're the football guy. Can he come back and play a role where he's a jack of all trades and does a little of this?
Absolutely, positively, no shot.
Okay. Well, you're going to argue with Mr. Coach Breslin because he just turned around and said, Urban Meyer, baby, look out. That's his boy.
No way.
Carson, that's his boy.
No way.
Yeah, Tim Tebow's all over the place. I love him. I think he's great. He's a great commentator. He's very insightful when he's like talking about college football.
Yes.
I think that's where his specialty is. Being a college football analyst, I think that's the best place for him. I don't really see him coming back to sports. Right. I think it's even crazy that he tried baseball out, and he almost, they were talking about maybe he's going to get a shot at the Mets, which kind of irritates me.
That was a week ago, yeah.
As well, because like you have all these like phenomenally gifted athletes in the AAA, AA, single A. And now just because there's a big name guy, they're going to give him more props and respect than a guy who's worked his whole life, playing a sport, for baseball. So I think Tim Tebow, he's a great athlete, but I don't think he's coming back.
Just throwing this out there to start the fire a little bit, Carson. Okay,
well, I was going to say, as soon as Jen comes back, what she is, we're going to start college basketball.
Okay, but real quick.
It sells newspapers.
He called me 6:15, Jen, and we're already on.
Wait, 1 second though.
Still want to call Tim Tebow.
Carson, where did he go to college?
Florida.
Who was his coach?
Yeah.
Who's in Florida? His coach is there. If there's ever a time to do it, this would be it.
I don't know, man. Like he retired how long ago from the Broncos? 5 years ago? Maybe longer than that. I mean, when you step away from a sport for that long, you're just not
contact sport like football. Yeah, that was my argument.
By the way,
Carson.
Kenny, Bobby's saying Tim Tebow has a better chance making it to NASCAR than playing in the NFL again.
There you go. He could be on Jordan's team.
All right, I'm sorry I cut you off, Kenny.
I love it. It made me wager on NASCAR. I didn't win, but I called Kurt and he put in some FanDuel bets on some NASCAR guys for me. It made me watch, so I was happy to see that. I actually bet on that car along with a few other drivers, and I didn't win.
The craziest thing is this, Kenny. I text Kenny about 8 o'clock at night, and I said, I didn't watch it. And I said, Kenny, how'd you do? He goes, it's just starting up. I said, just starting up.
It was like a 4-hour rain delay.
8:30.
It didn't end until midnight. I was falling asleep on the chair watching the end.
You're better off watching.
We got Jenny Hoops on, Kurt. That means one thing.
College hoops?
College season, and we get some college football news, college basketball news.
All right, so let's start with this. Let's go right out of the gate. We're going to start with hoops then. Give me your top 5 in the country right now.
I'm going to go Gonzaga, Baylor. I'm going to keep Baylor there, even though they haven't played. Michigan, 3rd. And then I feel like Michigan's kind of solidified into that number 3 spot. And I feel like all season long, I've been like Gonzaga, Baylor. Then it's kind of a toss up. But I think Michigan is kind of solidifying that. Sorry, Carson. I know you're Michigan State.
Yeah, no, you're no worries.
I'm going to slide in Houston and honestly Villanova next. I think Villanova, even though they might be, I just think they're going to I just think they're all around better than some of the teams that are ranked ahead of them right now. So I'm going to put Villanova up there.
Okay, let's go. I'm going to slide to Mr. Kirkpatrick next.
I want you to slide to me last, and I'll explain why.
Okay, Mr. Sis. Your top 5 right now in the country.
My top 5 right now in the country: Gonzaga, Wisconsin, Virginia, Baylor, and Ohio State want no part of Michigan. Sorry, Carson.
Okay. Carson.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys with the top two. I'm going Gonzaga and Baylor. Gonzaga's like, they're a great team. It's the problem is, it's like, who are they playing? I mean, really, in their conference, who are they really playing against? I mean, they're just blowing out their opponent. I mean, the only team, they're their own team in their own conference. Like, nobody is going to match up against them. So it's hard to put them there. I mean, I know they're the best team in the country, but come to tournament time, I know they've done quite well in the past. It's just hard for me. They're kind of like a Boise State situation a few years ago in football. It's just they don't have much. If they had better competition throughout the regular season, I would solidify them as the number one. But I'm with you guys. I'm going to go Gonzaga, Baylor. Hate saying this, but I'm going to go with Michigan. Juwan Howard's done a phenomenal job, taking over Beeline, and then I'm going to go with Illinois. They're the shock in the Big Ten this year. They kind of they were the laughing stock for a while. 5 years ago they were just kind of at the bottom of the standings, and they've done a great job turning that program around. So Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and Illinois.
All right, I'll go because Kenny wants to go last, so I'm going to go Gonzaga, Baylor. Number 3, Carson, I can't agree with you more, man. Michigan, Sis sent me the text on Sunday afternoon saying, hope you didn't get sucked into Michigan when they were down 12. Next thing you know, boom, they go on a run, off 23 days or whatever it is, go to Wisconsin, beat Wisconsin and Wisconsin. They're the real deal. Number 4, listen, I'm a Big Ten guy this year. Michigan 3, Ohio State 4. They play this weekend. And 5, I agree with you, Carson, again. I'm going to go Illinois. Little shaky the other night. They were on the road. I forgot who they played Friday night. Nebraska. But they came back and win. So Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, Ohio State, Illinois. Kenny, you're 5.
My 4 are the same as yours, as almost everybody's, but it's a little different. Gonzaga number 1, and Carson's really going to hate me. I got Michigan number 2, Baylor 3, Ohio State 4. And rounding out my 5 is Houston. They still only have 2 losses. They're in a good conference. I got Houston as this year's Dayton type of team.
Okay.
Reason why I got Baylor 3, they haven't played. They're not playing until another 5 days, which is going to give them 21 days off. Yes, it worked again. It worked with Michigan. They came back. But I'm going to do this real quick, as fast as I can. I'm going to give you Baylor's schedule before their Big 12 play. They played Louisiana Lafayette. They won by 30. They played Washington, bottom team in Pac-12 this year. Beat them. They're blowing these teams out, but the point I'm making is they're playing nobody. They played Illinois early in the season. They won by 13. Stephen F. Austin, K-State, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Central Arkansas, Alcorn State, Iowa State, who has 2 wins. Then they played their conference. Oklahoma, I'll give them. TCU, I'll give them. Texas Tech. Kansas, they won by 8. Oklahoma State, they won. So they're winning their games. They were on a roll. Now they got 21 days off. I think this is going to hurt them. And Michigan, the way they came back against Wisconsin and beat a top team, I got them over Baylor right now. Now, next week, that may switch again, because if Baylor comes back and beats their Iowa State and West Virginia at home, and then they end with Kansas, I'll put them back at number 2 if they can come back after 21 days and win. Question I have for the 4 of you: does Baylor go undefeated and beat Iowa State, West Virginia, and Kansas? Their only away game is Kansas. I'll start with Jenny Hoops.
I think they do. They're just so athletic. I'm going to say yes.
Carson?
Yeah, I'm with Jenny as well. Baylor, I'm like this close to putting Baylor number 1. I mean, I feel like they've got a really tough schedule, and they just have, like you said, they've just been outplaying everybody. They're in a top Power 5 conference with the Big 12. I'm going Baylor all the way this year. I might even change them as my national champions this year instead of Gonzaga.
Jen, you wanted to add something?
I was just gonna say, sometimes that time off, it can go either way, like it either like, I feel like there's two extremes. It's hard for you to get back into it, or we had a guest on our All In on High School Sports show who likened their kids like caged animals. Once they had all that time off, like they couldn't wait to get out there, so it can kind of go either way. I'll be interested. Like Michigan, it went that way for them. They were off, but it took them a little while to get going, but they ultimately did,
I agree with both of you. I think they can go undefeated. The reason why I got them as 3 is because they didn't play as many games as these other teams. So I'm going to drop them down until they come back and show me they beat Iowa State and West Virginia. Then they're back at number 2. And if they run the table and beat Kansas, they should be number 1. Kurt, and then Sis, we'll finish with you.
I'm going to say that I think they're going to lose in the Big 12 tournament. I'm going to tell you why. It's going to be wherever, usually in Kansas. I know probably not fans or not many, but to play back-to-back in that conference, they could potentially play Kansas, West Virginia, Texas, the team who I love going into the tournament, Texas Tech. That's where they're going to lose a game. I don't know if they might run the regular season where I think Gonzaga is going to just walk into the NCAA tournament undefeated. I think Baylor will not win the Big 12 tournament, so they will not be undefeated going into the tournament is my prediction.
Okay.
I just want to make on the record that Jenny Hoops chose Texas Tech before Kurt did last week. I just want to make that on the record there. Thank you, sis, because we'll be having that argument in the near future.
I'm not picking them to go to the Final Four
I'm just saying, all of a sudden, it's just you're going to blame me
Jenny
like
Hoops,
I followed
Texas
you.
Tech.
You know how it goes.
I know one thing. If somebody jumps on my bandwagon with one of my Final Four teams, and if it's the guy wearing the red hat, Kenny, I'm going to be all over him live on air because he knows who my number 4 team's going to be. That's all I'm going to say, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
There you go. Sis, what about it? Baylor going undefeated?
I'm going to say yes. Yes, they're going to go undefeated. And it reminds me a lot about like Kurt when he coached at St. Mary's. They used to beat these teams by about 25-30. As soon as they went down to play St. Joseph Hammond, it was all over. So,
thanks for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's
Bobby Blackjack saying, duly noted, Jenny Hoops.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yes,
all right, so
Texas
Mr.
Tech
Kirkpatrick,
written down.
so you know what? I'm going to come right back. I'm going to start with Carson on this. Right now, today, again, we do it every week. You're filling out a Final Four. Who's your Final Four on your bracket today?
I'm going to go Gonzaga, Michigan, Baylor. I'm going to throw a weird one. I'm going to actually stick with my one that I said last week. I'm going to put Houston in there too. Just kind of boring and just right where it's at right now. But I think those are the top 4 for me.
Okay, sis, before I get to you, Coach Breslin's saying woodshed, sis. So he's saying the woodshed. I guess St. Mary's and Hamilton. But
oh yeah, I was there. I was there with Joey Pops and your mom.
Come on, that was like
at Rutgers. They had
they were
that
good,
back.
man. They're good.
That kid was about 6'2", 230. He just ran all over.
Nah,
us,
they're
but
good.
It's all good.
No joke.
So,
they're good. Props
good.
to them. Sis, give me your Final Four today.
Zaga, Ohio State, Illinois, and Baylor. Little change up from last week.
Jenny Hoops.
Mine's a change up too. I don't know. This is tough. Of course it's tough. I feel like, we're talking about who's going to be undefeated, right? And I think it would be better for Baylor to lose before the NCAA tournament, like get that out of their system so they know how to like adjust come tournament if they find themselves down. But they might not. I'm going to go Gonzaga, Michigan, Villanova, UVA. I'm going to go with like coaching and like strength of just program.
Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Mine changed, and again, I got to see Baylor play before I got them in my Final Four now. So they're not in there right now, but that can change next week. Gonzaga, keep hating to do this. Michigan, Creighton, and sorry, I watched Iowa play Michigan State.
I warned you,
Iowa's back.
It's not the same team.
I know you're not going to like this, but Iowa's back. And they got that guy Garza, Luka Garza. You ain't stopping him in the middle. And that's what I want tournament time is somebody underneath. So give me Iowa in the Final Four.
All right, you know what, Kenny? Out of all four of you, I didn't think it would be you, and I didn't think it would be Carson. I thought it would be one of the other two thieves trying to steal one of my teams. But
Thieved already.
you jumped on my bandwagon, Kenny.
But you notice how he goes last, so it's not him.
Absolutely, of course.
No, I
Always
just said it.
premeditated.
I'm going
Setup.
Gonzaga.
It's a total setup. Yeah.
I'm
it's a
He
going
thinks
setup.
nobody knows.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big
Gonzaga,
secret.
Baylor, Michigan. I think this year you're going to get the better teams to go and the best team in the Big East. They're not the team that says NOVA. It's Creighton. Sis, we said it last week. They're going to light them up. They blew out Villanova at home. They're the best team in the Big East by far. Creighton, I'm telling you, Creighton, it depends how the matchup is. If it's not Creighton, I'm going on the record right now. If it's not Gonzaga and Creighton, Creighton's going to win the whole thing. The whole thing. You've
been on the Creighton since last year.
They can light it up, man.
I'm
Light it
with
up.
you with Creighton. That'd be our team, man. I like it.
All right, so Kenny, right now you're filling out a bracket. You're national champ, one team.
Sis is gonna hate this one, Iowa.
Oh,
Oh.
sis, we're stealing that money. We're gonna take that, donate that bracket.
Oh, that's like watching paint dry. Oh,
What do you got, sis? Who's your one team to win the bracket?
I'm gonna go with Gonzaga. I think they're due, man.
I agree with
think
you.
they're
They
due.
agree. Best team in the country, and they're due.
Yep.
Carson, you
Yep.
agree with us?
Oh,
Or you
and
going
that's
Baylor? Are
That's
you
a
gonna
good
take
point,
Baylor
'cause
right now?
they've gotten there so many times. You know, they had a heartbreaking loss against North Carolina a few years ago.
Yep.
By the way, I
Yep.
was actually watching that game in a hot tub on a cruise ship.
Nice.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Let's
but
go
I'm
and
gonna
watch it.
go with Baylor. I feel like they're the real deal. It's gonna be Gonzaga, Baylor in the national championship.
22 years old. I've never been on a cruise ship or in a hot tub.
Before I get Hoops' answer, you know how me and Jen went out that night, Carson, to go watch the game at a quote-unquote sports bar. And the only problem is it's a Monday night national championship
Oh
game.
my
We're
God,
all
this is
pumped
great.
up. It's like 10 o'clock at night. They go, all right, guys, you have to leave. The bar's closed. Bar's closed. It's a national championship game. We had to watch we watched the game in the car.
Wow.
True story. Right,
Wow.
Jen?
No
That's
way.
crazy.
Yes, we did.
Wow.
We were the only ones in the
We were
bar,
the only ones in
and
the bar in a
the
sports
guy
Wow.
bar.
didn't want to hang around, so he was like, "Oh, we're gonna
Wow.
close."
Yeah, we're
We were like,
closing.
Wow.
So
That
we
was one of
watched
the
it on
best
the
national
phone.
championships ever, too. Like, that was an
Yeah.
amazing game.
Hoops, who do you got?
I
National
got
champ.
Gonzaga. I got Gonzaga.
All right,
Mark
Hoops,
Earl.
coming right back to you. Give me a sleeper to win. Give me a sleeper, deep sleeper for the NCAA tournament.
Ooh, deep sleeper.
Well, not
I
deep,
don't
a
know.
sleeper. Sleeper.
Well, I'm still gonna go with that. I'm gonna stick with my Texas Tech. I mean, I don't know that that's
Okay.
like such a sleeper, but I'm gonna go. It's an unlikely.
Okay. I'll piggyback off of you and say, again, not another sleeper. This team, my team is not ranked in the top 25, but very impressed with them, is Oregon. I like their coach. I think he wins some big games. And, and they got some talent. They shoot the three. So I'll go Oregon. Sis, sleeper.
I'm going to go Mrs. Valenti with Texas Tech.
Okay.
Yep.
Carson.
Kurt, you sold me. I mean, when I was watching that game, and right from the get-go, Creighton just looked like they were like on fire. Their chemistry was in order, and they shocked Villanova. And I'm going Creighton as my sleeper. So it was Houston last week. That wasn't really much of a sleeper because they're legit, but I'm going to go with Creighton.
Mr. Kirkpatrick.
I got a new one. I don't have Loyola this week. I got San Diego State just cracked the top 25. They are a team that nobody's talking about this year, and a team that's been in the top 10 for the last couple of years. So that's my sleeper going forward this week. That's why I like that we could change this every week.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
too.
Change for sure.
That one's probably a
You're
good one.
gonna see what I mean on disappointment, because that's what we're doing next, right?
Yes, sir. All right. What we're gonna do a surprise. Just did any team surprise you in the past week? Anybody throw it out, sis. Anybody surprise you in the past week?
The last 2 weeks, Rutgers.
Okay. Carson.
They're playing well.
I don't know if you would call Michigan State a surprise because, like, I've already said it before. It's just so weird not seeing Izzo be Izzo like he normally is. Like, I think this might be one of just as weakest teams he's ever had. Like, I'm just watching the games and I'm just not seeing like the same, like, and I tell you what, like a lot of, a big reason why like powerhouses like Duke, North Carolina, even Kansas, they've fallen. I mean, they're still in the top 25, but barely. I'm telling you, being a college student, when home court with the fans in the building makes a huge difference. And by not having a student section at basketball games, it makes a big difference. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with my Spartans as a big surprise. I'm just kind of devastated I can't be there rooting them on, but, it is what it is.
Hoops.
I'm going to go with a disappointing surprise as well. Just Virginia's performance against Florida State was an abomination. So,
oh wait, Hoops, you're going to wear headphones soon because I'm going to get to them in a second.
All right, wait. All right, I actually wanted to ask you a question because, and Sis will be my now that you said that, we'll make it ugly.
Okay.
So
I love it. Get him, Jen.
Sis is my witness for many conversations in this house regarding Tony Bennett and UVA basketball,
Absolutely.
right? So, he's all Gonzaga. If that team doesn't win it this year, I mean, seriously, you need to I don't even know, eat crow, whatever it is, because you have given Gonzaga so many. All he did was beat up on Tony Bennett and UVA for not winning the big thing, right? In a short amount of time. You want to compare the resume of Tony Bennett at UVA and the oh my God, his name's escaping me at Gonzaga. I can't remember his name. Thank you, Few. He's been there a lot longer, and hasn't done it. So you better back up your, be equally hard on all of these coaches.
He wanted Tony Bennett fired 2 years ago.
Oh, I know. It's ridiculous.
Okay, ready?
Carson doesn't really know the true way that.
No, Carson has no clue.
Well, who has disappointment left? I got to give my disappointment. Not disappointment, surprise. And then I'll let you
Kenny,
go.
what's your surprise?
Great in the way they manhandled Villanova.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
I'll let you go, Kurt, now because I know you got something.
I'm going to shock you with my surprise. Jen's going to be shocked. My surprise is Kansas a little bit. A lot of people left them for dead, out of the top 25. And you know what? They slowly but surely coming back. So I'm going to give them a little credit from last week ago. We wrote them off, and I'm going to bring them back. But getting back to Hoops, because I just can't let her get the best of me like that.
Of course not.
Okay?
Of course
you know what?
Carson's never witnessed this. This is good.
You had the Krzyzewski crew with Zion, Reddish, and RJ, and they didn't win. They didn't even get to a Final Four because of Carson's Michigan State boys.
Damn right.
So that was a big disappointment, right? But I'll say this: in the last 10 to 15, I'll even go 20. If Gonzaga doesn't win it, they're the most disappointing team in that. Because they're the best team. They have such an easy road. They should be fresh going in. If they can't win it this year, biggest disappointment in 10, 15 to 20 years, Hoops. So there you go. It's on air. And you know what? You better question Mark Few if he can't get it done this year. You better question him.
He hasn't gotten it done yet.
Right.
Listen, I'm picking them this year, but you want to hold them accountable the same way you hold everybody else accountable. That's all I'm saying.
But let's get into this now. Disappointment of the week, Kenny, and you're going to love this with your Yankee hat on. I was so high, and I picked UVA, and I was impressed. And I watched them on Monday night, me and Hoops. Was it Monday night? Yes, Monday night we watched them, and I saw two guys in particular, Mr. Huff, Mr. Hauser. These guys wanted no part of Florida State. Florida State embarrassed them, physically manhandled them. They had no answer. And I joke with Jen about Hauser and Huff and how they're soft little pillows. This Florida State team, it was like rag dummies throwing them around. Never fought back. And I'll tell you, here's my spoiler. They're going into Duke. It's going to be the same thing with Duke. They are off my list. They will not be on any of my list. That disappointment against Florida State, who is not somebody I would put any wagering money on. Just up and down, manhandled them. No fight at all from Virginia.
They were out-athleted for sure.
You should be whistling Dixie and
Go on.
music to your ears, because when he is down on a team, he puts the black cloud to a new meaning. So
You know
if he's off the Virginia bandwagon, they're going to the national.
And you know what, Kenny? Wait, I'm not done, because I got the other guy next to me, Mr. Carson, my good friend, and I put my word on the line.
Oh, now he's
for
looking
them.
for allies, Jen.
No, not ally, but they're another disappointment. What did I say, sis? Lock of the year. Here they go, and they got manhandled. But you know what? They're just like Carson said. It's not their year. It's really you can
Carson,
just say it's not their year.
I just told Hoops, Black Cloud. He wants Michigan State. Look what he did to Michigan State. That's it.
Kenny, I'll never forget, Kenny, we were down in AC watching March Madness, and Virginia was playing, and Kurt had money some way against Virginia in some way, shape, or form. And you kept saying to me, Jen, it's better this way. They're going to win.
Kenny, all right. Disappointment, real quick. We got a question from Henry Zimenoff. What do you think the Colorado Buffaloes need to fix in order to contend for the Pac-12 regular season title? Plus, have their chance to win the conference title improved improved drastically? Jen, answer that real quick.
Me? You're going to put me on the spot
Yeah,
for Colorado?
Anybody want to jump in on that?
Yes.
I'll do my best. I'm not following much on the Pac-12. It's a down conference as a whole. So you can get any team, Henry, in my opinion, that they don't have to do much. If they can go on a little run, and that's what I think it's going to take to win the Pac-12 tournament, is a little run. Going in, win 3 or 4 games before the tournament starts, ride that team, because I think as a whole, from top to bottom, they are so close together. And number one can any day lose to the bottom team. And you don't have that in the other major conferences. You're not going to have the bottom teams beating the top teams. So Colorado's not a bottom team. Colorado's more in the middle. I can see them surprising. And I think somebody's going to be a surprise in that Pac-12. I don't think it's going to be Oregon. I don't think it's going to be the top teams. I think it may be like a Stanford, an Arizona State, a Colorado, one of those teams coming through with a run in the tournament.
Colorado's got a big game tonight versus Oregon. Big game tonight. All right, Hoops, before you go, any disappointment for you in the past week?
Again, my disappointment was UVA for sure.
Carson.
Really disappointing.
Probably Villanova. I thought they'd show up against Creighton, and they just kind of a letdown. So, they're going to have to get back on the winning train again, but props to Creighton for pulling that off.
Sis.
Your boys, Michigan State.
Yeah.
Terrible. They're terrible.
Just not the same. 22 years probably over, 22-year streak.
And Mr. Kirkpatrick, finish it off.
All I'm going to say is this. I'm off this team. I was on them last week, but fast as I was on them, I'm off them. Loyola Chicago. You go and beat Drake 81-54 on the first end of a back-to-back on the road. You come back the next day and lose 51-50 at home. You don't deserve to be in the top 25.
No, they didn't lose. Kenny, they didn't lose at home. They played both at Drake.
Both at Drake. You still can't, when you beat a team by 27 points, lose. You score 81 one day, you can't score 51 the next day.
Henry saying, I'm sorry, Kenny.
My disappointment.
Henry saying McKinley Wright had made a huge difference with this team this season. We wrote the history books and is on the verge of winning the John R. Wooden Award. He is legit, man. He's a great outside shooter. He's a guy where you say you can carry to win like a Pac-12 tournament. He's one of the best players in that conference. So he can put his team on his back to win that tournament. And I think
that's what's going to take. That's what's going to take. It's going to take somebody to step up big.
Hoops, real quick. Let's say this live on air. You're going to watch the game 8 p.m. this week. UVA at Duke. 7:30 is DePaul at St. John's. Will we watch the games together, or will you be in a separate room because you think I'll be screaming at UVA with Duke?
Well, I think I'm going to have to be in a separate room because you're going to want St. John's on the big TV. No? Right?
Probably.
Yeah. So
I think we need to start having, this is a wagering show. What's the next I think you guys need to make a wager on the show. Kurt is off of UVA. If UVA wins their next game, Hoops gets UVA on the big screen, and Johnny's is on.
I don't want to do that.
He's saying his kitchen.
Listen,
Wait,
I don't want to
Jen.
do that. He
He's
says, because he
saying
knows
his
he'll
kitchen.
lose.
Now, before you go, I know we're running late. We got Marty in the waiting room. I'm putting him on the spot right now because he likes to put everybody else on the spot. UVA Duke, he said, spoiler. You know he's taking Duke. You know you want to go with UVA. UVA beats Duke. St. John's is on the little phone TV screen, and Hoops gets the big screen.
He sat in his kitchen 2 years ago in front of me and Jenny.
He won't put the money where
and said he'd eat his hat if Virginia won the whole thing.
What
He said he'd eat his
We're
hat.
talking about a game on a TV. You're not going to make that wager on the air?
What game
Was
am
so
I going to
quiet.
miss?
He got awfully quiet over there.
I guess he doesn't have confidence in Coach K, huh?
I don't want to put. I don't want to say I don't care, but that game doesn't have the meaning of me not being able to watch St. John's on a big screen. Come on,
He has no confidence.
There's- it's
I'm
no
screwing
biggie.
myself.
He's all talk. He has no confidence in. He knows Virginia's going far. He's just busting chops.
It's all good. I'll watch upstairs. It's all good.
There
You're
you
probably
go.
better off watching it.
Yeah.
If he was a real fan, he'd listen to it on the radio.
You guys are shot. Go,
That's it.
sis.
I know
Just
we
wait.
kept you longer than expected, Jen. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Guys, thank you for having me. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Jen.
Bye, guys.
Good seeing
Always
you.
a pleasure.
Go UVA. So we're a little behind, Kurt. We'll catch up.
Of course. When you want to do our picks, or you want to bring in Marty
I'm
first?
going to bring in Marty for the picks, and we'll have him join with us as a guest picker.
Okay,
Marty
perfect.
should be coming on in a second.
What's up, Marty?
What's up, my friend Marty? How are you guys?
He's connected to his audio. Give him a
Okay.
second. There he is. Marty, welcome again. Our good friend Marty joins from Intercept Your Lunch is back with us.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
There's Marty.
What's up,
What's
Marty?
up, buddy?
Sorry,
Good,
we're running
good.
late, but that's normal on this show.
That's not a problem with me.
We'll get,
Not a
we
problem.
we
Gives me-
told you we're
gives
going to
me
do a
time
little
to
top
watch
10,
it.
but Kurt's got a few games, so you might as well join us for some picks on college basketball.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem.
So we want to do the picks now, Kenny?
We'll do the picks first, and then we'll do the top 10. We'll
All right,
finish
so
the-
let's do it real. We'll do picks real quick because we want to get to. I know you have a nice little topic. We'll just start with. We'll start Kenny tonight. Iowa. Kenny's Iowa and Sis's Iowa at Wisconsin.
Whoa. Don't say sisters.
No, I meant that sarcastically.
Thank you.
Iowa at Wisconsin. We're not
Iowa.
doing point spreads. We're just picking the game,
Just
right?
picking a game. Iowa at Wisconsin.
I'm going Iowa. I watched Wisconsin play against Michigan, and they blew that game at home in the second half. I think Iowa's going to go on a nice run here. I'm going to go Iowa.
Kenny. Carson.
I'm going Wisconsin. Going the upset. They held their ground with Michigan. I know they kind of blew like a 12-point lead, but I think they're going to be hungry for Iowa. They want revenge. They're going to give me Wisconsin the upset.
Sis, do I have to pick it or just put your face next to the little Wisconsin logo?
They're home on the home court. Exactly.
Yep, I am with you, Mr. Sis. I'm going Wisconsin also. And Marty, before you pick,
Yep.
Bobby Blackjack is saying, "What's up, Marty?" So Bobby.
Hey, what's going on, Bobby?
What do you got? Iowa,
I got-
Wisconsin.
I got Wisconsin too at home, like Carson was saying, coming off that loss to Michigan. I think
Right.
they're going to try to bounce back.
All right,
Just
9.
his words last week, Kurt. Only difference is we got one more this week on the panel.
There we go.
Yep. All
Just
right,
kept
so
saying, "Oh, I like it 3 against 1. I love it 4 against 1."
9
Yeah.
o'clock. 9 o'clock tonight. I am
I like
going to be
the
a little
other-
intrigued to watch a little Big Ten basketball, and we'll start with Carson. He's our Big Ten guy. Rutgers going to Michigan. What do you got, Carson?
It's weird because like I have mixed emotions. Like I just because you can't. I mean, it's my rival. Like I can't give him too much praise. But like I said earlier, I give credit where credit is due. Juwan Howard has done a great job. And like it's not going to be the same performance when Michigan State got blown out by Rutgers. Michigan's going to manhandle them. Give me Michigan all the way in this one.
Sis,
Michigan in a woodshed.
I'm with you. Woodshed with Michigan over Rutgers. Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Easy. I'm going 4 for 4 here, Michigan.
And Marty.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Michigan. Fun fact, Eli Brooks, who plays on Michigan, I watched him in high school. He's from the same town as I'm from. So,
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
yep.
All right,
Nice.
then we're going to roll into Saturday. We got a couple of, we got a Pac-12 game. We got Arizona and USC. Sis, start with you.
USC.
Kenny.
USC's hot. I don't know if I'm a big fan of theirs, but they're hot. And I was just telling Henry with his question, I said, team that's hot is going to win this Pac-12. So I'm going to ride the hot team. I'll go USC.
Yep, I will go with you. I'm going to go the home team too. And Carson.
Yeah, give me USC as well. You know, I think they're ranked 17. Yeah, give
Yes.
me USC at home as well.
Marty, clean sweep. Or
Yeah.
you're going to take
Yeah.
Arizona in an upset?
Nah, clean sweep. Arizona hasn't shown much this year to get that kind of value.
All right. Saturday, a Big 12 showdown. Number 13, West Virginia at number 12, Texas. Let's start with Kenny on this one.
This is tough. Gosh. Never liked Shaka Smart, but he's doing the job there. And West Virginia is my boys. But I guess if I'm going to keep it real, like Carson always says, I got to go with my gut. My gut's telling me Texas is going to beat them. So I'm going to go Texas at home on the home court, beating West Virginia.
Okay.
And I say by about 6 to 8 points.
Sis.
Handy victory there.
West Virginia's a fraudulent team. I'm taking Texas.
What'd you say, sis? What'd you call them? Fraudulent?
They're a fraudulent team. Yeah.
I like West Virginia, just not a fan of being on the road like you guys are saying. So I will go with you, sis. And with Kenny, I'm going to take Texas at home. Carson.
Barely lost against Oklahoma. That was a crazy game. And I'm going to go with West Virginia. They're going to be hungry. I usually pick teams that are home, especially when it's a top 25 matchup. But I'm going to go with West Virginia.
Okay, first one to go with West Virginia. Marty, what side you going with?
Same. I'm going to go with West Virginia. Last time these teams faced off, Texas hit a game winner. So I'm thinking a little revenge, a little fired up West Virginia Mountaineers with the win.
Okay. Back to Saturday, Big East battle. UConn got their best player back, and they're going to Villanova after a big-time loss last week to Creighton. Carson, who wins the Big East showdown?
Yeah, just got to go with Villanova. I know like they're studs back for UConn, but Villanova at home, you know, they got to get the ball rolling after that brutal loss against Creighton. Give me Villanova in this one.
Kenny.
I'm going to go upset here. UConn is looking good. UConn's playing well, and Villanova off a bad defeat against Creighton. I'm going to say that lingers a little bit, and UConn pulls it off.
Sis.
Did you see the dunk that kid made the other day?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Good. That kid's 6'7". UConn.
Oh, boy, sis.
UConn.
He's good. But I can't. I got to go with my guy Carson on this one. Home team at home, like embarrassed last week, and I think they bounced back and they beat a tough UConn team. All right, you got to break the tie, Marty. 2-2.
That's tough. I'm gonna have to go with Villanova. I think they're gonna bounce back. You know, like the guy said, and they've got a player in Colin Gillespie who's been playing pretty well too at the point guard position.
Yeah, he's tough, no doubt.
Another Big 12 showdown. Texas Tech at Kansas. I'm going to start this. Sis knows I am a big-time home guy, but Texas Tech is just a different animal. McClurg, you know, they got the he's like, you know, he's fierceless. They got some vets on that team. They won a lot of road games. I'm going to take the mini upset, and I'm going to go with Texas Tech to win at Kansas. Carson.
Boy, I just hate hearing the words Texas Tech because that's the team we lost to in the Final Four a few years ago. But I'm telling you what, like you said, Mac McClung, I feel like he was a stud with Georgetown. Smart move to transfer to Texas Tech. They got a great defensive scheme. But I'm feeling Kansas pulls this off. They crawled their way back in the top 25. They're motivated. They're basically saying to themselves, you know, don't forget about us. We're still Kansas. So
true.
Give me Kansas.
Sis.
Kansas is tough, but I'm going to take Texas Tech in a squeaker.
Texas Tech. Kenny.
I'm going to go just the opposite of Sis and agree with Carson, but Kansas in a squeaker, a scare at home, but they pulled it off like a 2 to 3 point victory.
And Marty, I get another one, 2-2. You got to break this tie.
Oh, I'll go with Texas Tech. Kansas hasn't been playing very well. Kansas is playing well of late, but against top 25 teams, they don't have a very good record. So I think Texas Tech goes in there and wins.
All right. And what we were talking about before, Jenny Hoops, her UVA Cavos travel to Duke. Kenny started off. Jen's not on here now, so you could be honest if you want to go against Virginia. You don't have to suck up to her right now.
All I got to say, guys, and I'll make it short and sweet, Kurt wouldn't accept the bet to watch a team. Jenny watch UVA on the big screen if UVA beat Duke. He would get Duke. So give me UVA all day. If he's not taking that bet, it's UVA all day.
Okay. Carson.
Give me upset city. Sorry, Jen, if you're still listening, but something about Duke. I feel like kind of same situation with Kansas. They got to make a statement if they want to try to make this tournament again. They got to start winning big time games. This is a big game for Duke if they want to try to creep their way into the tournament and make the final 64. So give me Duke with this one. Big game for Coach K.
Sis, you with hoops or against hoops?
I'm riding the hoops train. Virginia by 5.
Attaboy, Sid.
I'm with Carson. I know
Yeah,
that.
we
I know
you're with Carson.
I
We
know
that.
one of their players. I know one of their players. Duke just opted out the rest of their season. One of their lottery picks. But again, at home, I didn't like the way UVA looked at Florida State. They just got manhandled. They had no answer and no fight. I just think Duke's playing for their lives. Duke needs the game. They're at home. I'm going to take Duke. So again, Marty, this is 3 in a row, man.
There we go.
Another time.
You know what, Marty? The reason
you
why
guys-
he took Duke, but you notice he's downstairs and Jen is upstairs. So he's got Duke right now. If Jen was next to him, he'd be taking UVA.
It might
Come
be a
on.
little different. All you guys made great points on that, but I'm gonna have to go with Duke in the upset too. I
Nice.
think Virginia playing a little sloppy last week. That's gonna linger, and like you guys said, Duke's got to win if they want to make it.
And game of the week, I'm pumped up for Sunday at 1. Number 3,
Yeah.
Michigan at number 4, Ohio State. Carson, again, you're our Big Ten guy. Start us off.
Yeah, this is a treat. I mean, you want to talk about not getting a rivalry for Ohio State, Michigan in football this year. This is your game to make up for the football miscue. You got top 5 matchup, Michigan versus Ohio State. It's going to be tough. There's going to be some elbow shoving involved. I mean, one of the biggest rivalries in all of college sports. I'm going to go with Michigan, though. I hate saying this, but I really feel like Juwan Howard, he's got a squad this year. Give me Michigan with I guess you could kind of call it an upset because they're on the road. But I'm going to go with Michigan.
Okay. Sis.
OSU at home, 2 to 4 point either way.
Sis, where do you think I'm going with this one? Let's see how good you know me.
Okay, I'm gonna say as good as I know you, you're going with Ohio State.
Ohio
Because they're
State,
home.
because they're home. I'm going to
Yep.
take it. 2 3-point victory, just like that. Kenny.
You guys will learn the hard way. Carson's Michigan State student. He knows Michigan State well, but what other team does he know as well as Michigan State? Michigan. He's taking Michigan. I'm taking Michigan. Michigan. That's it. I could say a few more things, but if Carson's taking Michigan, you take Michigan.
And this
Kenny,
is it.
come-
So now,
Kenny, come and
Tiebreaker
see-
Marty. That's what we're going to call you again.
tiebreaker Marty, but this is now you got people. We got Michigan and you got Ohio State. 3 versus 4, Marty. Who's going to win this game?
So, I graduated from Penn State, so I can never pick Ohio State. So I'm going Michigan with the hometown kid, Eli Brooks, getting the win on the road.
Do you get an up?
Now,
let me
we
ask-
didn't know that. We got another Big Ten alumni.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes,
that. Hey,
yes.
well, listen to
This
this.
is gonna be fun going forward. We got Michigan State, Penn State, Virginia.
There we go.
All right, so let me ask you this, Marty. Is there an? I mean, we're talking about Michigan, Ohio State for Sunday. Is there an upset tonight? Does Penn State upset Ohio State at home tonight?
Ooh.
Please.
That'd be tough. The only way I could see that is if Ohio State maybe tries to overlook them getting ready for Sunday, but that'd be tough. I would have to say no.
Okay. There you
Well,
go.
I got
Mr.
breaking news. Marty wasn't on at the beginning. breaking news. Bad news for Marty. Carson Wentz signed today with the Colts.
I know. It's the
You-
first thing I thought about.
You were the only one that didn't have him going to the Colts. But to double dagger you that was your 2-4. So you got -1 point to start the free agent signing.
Yeah.
Long way to go. Long way to go. But
Oh yeah.
we all got 5 and you got -1 to start. I am keeping score. I am
Yep.
keeping track. So we'll keep that going. Just wanted to share that. That's the first signing of the people that we picked.
Oh no, yeah, no, that was the first thing I thought about. I was at work and said, "Darn, he went to the Colts," and they're like, "Why do you care?" And I was like, "Well, because I was on the K&K Sports Show, and I guessed that they went to the Eagles."
Yeah, that's funny.
That's good.
Any more games, Kurt?
That's it. That's the games for the week.
I'll do my topic real quick. We'll do this quick. We'll get it through. This week's topic has to do with Carson a little bit. I was listening to a show and they were talking about Matthew Stafford and how many great athletes are in LA. And Matthew Stafford, when he was in Detroit, was the #1 ranked athlete in Detroit. Yet in LA, he's barely cracking the top 10 or 15 in LA. So I wanted to do like a top 10 LA and top 10 New York major sports, especially see where Stafford fits in LA, and then see how we got in New York and compare the two, see who's stronger. And I'll start it off. LA, my #1 guy is LeBron James. I don't know if anybody disagrees with that. If they have anybody different.
Really quickly, Kenny, are we talking all time or are we talking current athletes?
Current athletes.
Current. Okay.
Any of the major sports that are currently playing. So I got LeBron in LA. I don't know if anybody else has somebody different. If they do, you could chime in and
Not at the #1 spot, Kenny. I agree.
No, he ain't even on my list.
ain't on your list.
Nope.
Wow.
He's the #1. He's arguably the best player in basketball.
He's a hot dog. I don't like him.
Sis isn't a fan of him.
All right,
He's a
fair
hot
enough.
dog. I don't like.
Who's your
I don't
#1,
like hot
sis?
dog. I
Who's
don't
your
like
#1?
hot dog players. You notice one thing about my team? You see no hot dogs.
Who's your #1?
You're not going to believe who I put for #1. Kyrie Leonard, baby. Yes, I love that kid.
Okay. Everybody else has LeBron.
I have LeBron.
Yeah.
Marty, who do you got
Yeah.
#2?
#2, I was back and forth between these two guys, but I went with Aaron Donald.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I went with
Nailed
Aaron
it.
Donald.
Kurt, sis, you got Aaron Donald?
Yeah, you want to see my sheet here? Right
Carson,
there,
who's
buddy.
your #2?
Right there.
Are we counting the Angels in
Yes.
Los Angeles?
Yes, yes.
Mike Trout, hands down. No
I'm
question.
with Carson, Mike Trout, and Kurt. Who do you got as #2?
I'm gonna, and I never do this. See, are you telling me most popular, or would you say like best?
I'm doing it as I'm being realistic. Like, I don't care for LeBron James. I didn't care for Michael Jordan as a Knicks fan, but he's #1 in my opinion. So I'm doing it as a sports fan, not as being biased.
All right, my #2 then has to be, I have to be with Sis, with Leonard. I mean, the guy won a title. Actually, he won a couple titles, but he won it as the main guy with Toronto. I got to put him 2. Nobody else on the list has won anything, so I'm gonna go Leonard.
Okay. Carson, who's #3 on your list?
Anthony Davis. I'm gonna go with him. You can't. I mean, he was a huge reason why the Lakers won this year. I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis, the unibrow himself.
I'll go next. This is where I had Aaron Donald, #3, so he was close. Kurt, who you got #3?
See, this is where I was, and I know I said the contract before is a little crazy. I could put the Padres in there, right?
No, that's
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah.
I can't put
It's not
Padres
LA,
in?
that's San Diego.
Oh, it's not LA. Okay, then I got to go back. Sorry, I thought you meant
You can Angels, Chargers, Clippers, Lakers, obviously, Rams.
I love Trout. I think Trout, but I mean, how can I put Trout above Anthony Davis? I'm gonna titles to me matter, so I'm gonna go Davis.
Okay. come right back to Sis. Who you got number 3?
Anthony Davis.
And Marty.
Number 3, I had Mike Trout. That was the one I was in between back and forth, Donald and Trout.
Number 4, Kurt.
I'll go Mike Trout.
Sis.
Me?
Number 4, yeah.
Yeah, I got Mike Trout, believe it or not.
Okay. Marty.
Number 4, I had Kawhi Leonard. Like the guy said, he won a couple championships and looking to try to win another one there.
Carson.
Yeah, I'm with Marty. I'm going Kawhi as my number 4.
Same. Number 4, Kawhi. I'll start with Sis, number 5.
Clayton Crenshaw.
Good one. Marty.
Number 5, that's where I had Anthony Davis. He was a big part of that championship run. And if they want to win another one, he better get healthy.
Yep. Carson.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, this is tough because like it's 2 Dodgers. It's either Betts or Kershaw, and like Kurt was saying, you know, Betts, he's got one more ring with the Red Sox, so I'm gonna go with Mookie Betts, barely over Kershaw.
Me and Carson are on the same page. I got Mookie Betts there. Kurt.
My number 5 is Aaron Donald.
Okay. I'll go to Marty for number 6.
Well, you took my guy there. I was going with Mookie Betts. I was going him at 6. Like you guys said, I started looking at the Dodgers and him and Kershaw, but I went with Betts.
Carson?
I'm going to go with, Kershaw on this. I'm going to go Kershaw.
This is where I had Anthony Davis. Kurt?
This is number what? So this is number 6 for me, correct?
Yeah.
I want to put somebody ahead of Betts, but again, I can't. Just way too young. I'm going to go Betts 6.
And Sis, number 6.
Paul George.
Interesting. Okay. This is where it's going to, I think the names are going to start 7 through 10. I think we're going to have some different names.
Yeah.
I'll start with Carson for number 7.
Wow. Yeah, give me Aaron Donald for 7. You know, I think he's going to be one of the best defensive ends ever in the NFL. So I'm going to go with Aaron Donald as my 7.
Number 7, I got Trevor Bauer. Kurt.
Justin Herbert.
Number 7. That
Wow.
happened.
Yes. I mean, quarterback. Listen, rookie of the year. Rookie. I mean, and again, like he's a franchise guy, so I'm gonna go Herbert 7.
It's fair. Sis.
Zoltan. I'm going to try to pronounce his last name. He's a soccer player.
Yeah.
A soccer player thrown in there. I love it.
I can't even pronounce his last name.
I don't know who he is.
Movich or something like that. Yep. He's number 7.
Hey, if you got him, Sis, he's got to be number 7.
Yep.
Number 8, I'll go. I got Kershaw. Kurt.
I don't know if he's the better player, but yeah, I guess I got to go Kershaw too.
Right back at you, Sis, for 8.
This is my son's big guy, Walter Burler, the hockey player. I know nothing about hockey. That was strictly my son's.
Nice. Marty, how about number 8?
I went a little off the beaten path here. I said Sean McVay. Am I allowed to say that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great choice. Yeah.
Am I allowed? Okay, I know he's not an athlete, but if you're looking at LA sports as a whole, I mean, everybody talks about Sean McVay.
Marty, I still hold a grudge against his grandfather for cutting me to this day.
There you go.
Carson, finish number 8.
Give me Paul George, number 8.
Number 8, okay. Number 9, Kurt. Do number 9 and number 10 together, and we'll get to New York real quick.
All right, number 9. You know what? Number 9, I mean, he's new to the list, but I got to put him on because what you paid for him, he better be on the list, and that's Carson's boy, Mr. Matthew Stafford.
There we go.
I'm going to put him in number 9. And number 10, then I guess I got to go Bauer.
Okay. Sis, 9 and 10 together.
Drew Doherty and Justin Turner.
No LeBron James. I love it.
No Stafford. Sorry, Carson. No Stafford. Maybe next year.
9 and 10, Marty.
Rounding out mine, I've got Paul George at 9 and Justin Herbert at 10.
Well, Carson, who you got finishing?
You know,
off?
it's just sick to me that you guys are putting Justin Herbert over Matthew Stafford in Los Angeles. I mean, and Herbert's got just 1 year under his belt. I mean, I was high on Herbert, but over Stafford, my guy, man, my guy. I gotta go with Matthew Stafford. He's got to make my top 10. He's going to turn this Rams team around. He's got a real legit defense, got a legit offensive line that actually can block him and protect him this year. I'm going to go with Stafford as number 9 for me.
Kenny, real quick. Eddie Murphy saying, hey guys, just tuned in. Can you repeat the top 10, please?
The top 10 players, current players in LA, Ed. We're almost done with that one. And coming up real quick, we're going to do our top 10 current athletes in New York markets.
Right.
Who'd you have at number 10 to round off, Carson?
Number 10? Wow. I didn't even really think about it. How about Jock Peterson with the Dodgers, number 10? I'm going to go Jock Peterson.
Nobody said Bellinger, huh?
Not yet. I don't have him on there. I got some others. Like, this crazy. There's so many good athletes.
Yeah.
Carson, I'm not lying. I got Stafford, number 9 on my list.
Yes.
And I threw Walker Buehler in there, number 10. Others, nobody had Cody Bellinger. You know, there's so many guys on the list that LA.
Yeah.
New York is a little harder. There's not as many, but there's some. Who are we in order here? Let's go, Marty. Number 1, New York market.
Number 1, I went with Kevin Durant. The talent alone, there's not much around, but he's definitely easily the best player in New York right now.
Fair enough. Carson?
Yeah, wow. Well, I was going to go Aaron Judge, but now that you mentioned it, I'm going to go Kevin Durant, and then Aaron Judge is probably my number 2 for New York.
Okay. I'm going to go next. I got Jacob deGrom. I think the guy – it pains me to say because I'm a Yankee fan, but guy never gets run support. He's a top pitcher every year, top 3 pitcher. He's got to be number 1 on my list. Kurt?
I agree with Marty. I'm going to go KD.
Sis?
Garrett Cole, baby, from the Yankees.
It's a good one. I'll come right back to you for number 2, Sis.
Jacob deGrom.
Marty, number 2.
Number 2, I got Saquon Barkley, big Penn State guy, but if he can bounce back from that ACL, he's super talented.
We know, Carson, you picked Judge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kurt's steaming at the ears there. He doesn't like Judge.
No, he ain't even. He's not. Sis didn't put him on his list. He ain't going on my list.
No. He's on my list.
No. But how you didn't put LeBron, I'm not putting him on there.
Oh no. Okay, I got you.
I got Cole, number 2. Kurt, number 2.
You know what? I mean, listen. I'll go 2, 3. It's DeGrom and Cole. I'm just gonna do DeGrom just a little bit more. I mean, just because I think the heartbreak of that, like all those games that he's lost, either 1-0 or 2-1, and the Cy Young Awards. I mean, he's had no help. And Cole's been on good teams. Now, don't get me wrong, Cole's been good, but I mean, he's had the Astro team was phenomenal. You know, he gets run support from the Yankees. So I'm gonna go DeGrom 2, Cole 3, but in a toss-up.
Fair enough. Sis, who's your 3?
If this boy comes back healthy, my friend, we're going to the playoffs. Saquon Barkley.
I'll go 3 was Barkley on my list. Marty, who's your 3?
Mine's Pete Alfonso of the New York Mets.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah.
And Carson, who do you got?
Yeah, give me DeGrom with the Mets. Yeah, I think he's a stud. I'm going to go with DeGrom.
All right, let's do 2 at a time for the next 4 and 5, Kurt.
I'm going to be honest. Like, New York is tough, man. This is hard. It's not like it's not
New York
easy.
they're both tough. That's what I want to.
The New York Jets offer no value here.
No.
Jets didn't help. The Knicks don't help much.
But I'm gonna make Kenny say to me, "There's no way you would do this right now." And you know what, Kenny? If Mr. Lawrence, and I don't mean Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai, if Mr. Lawrence was on this list and he was going to the Jets, He would be numero uno, Kenny. Uno on my book.
Can't pick him yet.
I can't. Well, no, I'm saying he's not going to get there. But all right, number you want 4 and 5?
4 and 5. We'll do 2 at a time.
I'll do. I'm going to go Barkley and LeMahieu.
I'll go next because those are my 4 and 5. Barkley and LeMahieu. I had Durant 3. I messed up there. I said Barkley and LeMahieu, my 4 and 5. Carson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pete Alfonso. Marty brought him up. You know, he's a great guy. I was not even thinking about him, and when he brought him up, I got to give him props, definitely for sure.
Sis.
Kevin Durant and Syndergaard, 4 and 5.
Okay. Marty.
I got James Harden at 4, even though I don't like the tactics he's been doing. He's still a great player. And 5, I got Garrett Cole, pitcher for the New York Yankees.
Come right back to you for 6 and 7.
Yeah, keeping with the Yankees theme, I'm going with Stanton. I'm a big Judge hater too, so he's not making my list, but I got to give one of them.
Good boy, Marty.
What baseball fan are you, by the way?
Baltimore Orioles. So
I'm down here in Maryland. You ever want to come down for a game? Let me know.
Marty.
What's up?
If Coach Breslin's watching, can we get some kind of like "We Hate Judge" shirts or something? Me and you could wear on the show.
Something, man. I never liked that guy.
Me either.
I never liked him. I do like Stanton a little bit from his Miami days, but Judge is just. They talked about him so much. I'm tired of it. And rounding off, what I picked 7 is. Julius Randle. Yeah. I'll go with the Knicks. He's been playing great this year, an all-star caliber type player. I'll give him a little bit of love.
Kurt, give Marty and Carson a little 20-second story about Julius Randle with me.
So, what was it? 2 years ago, I was really big on I wanted the Kyrie and the K. I mean, I really wanted KD to the Knicks. And the the injuries changed everything and all that. But the one guy that I know was Mr. Kirkpatrick that wanted no part of either one, Marty. And all he kept saying to me before it happened was, I want Julius Randle. Sign a guy like Julius Randle. Sign a guy like Julius Randle. So obviously they go to Brooklyn. We got money. We signed Julius Randle. I'm telling you, Kenny would be, he kept saying, I want to get the Randle jersey. Kenny's Randle's number one man on this, not even on this panel. And I know some Knick fans. He is the number one Knick fan that I know. High on Randle.
If I said I expect what I see this year, I'd be lying. But I said to give him another chance this year when everybody wanted him out. I said, no, give the guy another chance. I said, I've watched highlights in New Orleans, and the guy is just a baller inside, and I just figured he'd fit perfect with us. And he's not a max contract guy, so yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Love the guy. Love the guy the way he plays. Carson, did we do your 6 and 7?
No, I don't think so. I was just gonna say Julius Randle as well. This is tough. I mean, like, give me Kyrie Irving. I just don't like the way he's handling himself this year. But I mean, he's gonna be, you know, one of the best point guards, you know, maybe top 15 point guards ever. So I'm gonna go with Kyrie.
My next 2 are Harden, who I'm not a fan of, and I got Randle as well. Kurt.
My 6 and 7, I went baseball. I went Alonso, and then I went Gleyber Torres.
Interesting that you went Gleyber. You know that, but you don't hate Gleyber. You hate Judge.
I hate Judge.
Kurt must have looked at my number 6 pick, but Peter Alonso. And then number 7 is my boy DJ LeMahieu from the Yankees.
Nice. Give me number 8, and then we'll do 9 and 10 to finish off. But give me number 8, sis.
Number 8 is, I hate to say it, but I would take this guy over Stanton any day of the week. Aaron Judge. Sorry, Kurt.
Marty.
Number 8 for me. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this guy either, but he's a great point guard, Kyrie Irving.
Carson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Saquon and then Giancarlo Stanton.
I got Kyrie Irving. I don't know. I got to put him in there. I got to be real. He's there for me, even though I don't like him. Kurt.
8. Again, I don't like these guys. They're Nets, but I'm gonna go Kyrie Irving. Again, just the one thing I like about Kyrie, not that I like about him, but like he's ballsy, man. Like
Yep.
how many other people could go and turn around and say like
Yep.
LeBron, like this is my team, and he's telling. I told James Harden like the other night. I'm telling James Harden. I told him you're the point guard. Like who is he? Like he's obviously the third fiddle on that team, but you know what? He doesn't act like in his mind he's not the third fiddle. And hey, he made a big shot in his career, helped Cleveland win a title. So I'm gonna go Kyrie at number 8.
This 9 and 10 to finish off.
My number 9 is Kyrie. And this will come as a total shock to Kurt. Number 10 is R.J. Barrett from the Knicks.
Okay.
That's it.
Marty, 9 and 10.
Number 9, I got DeGrom, and number 10, I'm kind of doing what Kurt said. Whoever the New York Jets take it to will be there. I don't care if it's Lawrence, Taylor, a wide receiver, a lineman, whatever. That's going to be their most talented player.
I like it.
Yep.
Carson, who you rounded it off with?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a Marty answer in here. I'm gonna go Steve Nash, the coach of the Nets. I feel like he's had a tall order, kind of managed KD, Kyrie, and James Harden in his first year, and he's not doing that bad. So I'm gonna go with Steve Nash for the coaching standpoint, and then I'm gonna go. Somebody said DJ LeMahieu. I'm gonna go with him as my final 10.
I got 2 Yankees at 9 and 10. I got Gleyber Torres, and I'm gonna throw Luke Voigt in there at number 10. Change it up a little bit. Kurt, round it off and finish the segment.
All right. I'm going to go with our boy Randall at 9. 10, reluctantly, I'm going to have to go Harden, but I'm going to piggyback off what Marty said. And especially if it's, who I love in this draft. I love Trevor Lawrence, but another guy I love is Mr. Wilson from BYU. So if he's the number 2 pick, I would put him right on that list too. By the way, Eddie Murphy's saying, damn, hockey is that bad? No one in the top 10? LOL.
In LA, Sis had 2 guys. I forget the one.
Yes.
Sis had 2 guys in LA.
I had Walker.
Now, real quick, Carson, Detroit market. Do you have any? Do you have a top 3? Do you have a top 5 off the top of your head? A top 10? I couldn't name probably 5 athletes right now.
See, here's the problem. Like, we have guys that came from Detroit and then they ship them off and then they become winners. Case in point, a big one is Justin Verlander. But I like literally, I could not tell you right now who the top 3 athletes are currently. I mean, I guess you could go with Cabrera, even though he's not the same as he once was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think here. I mean,
Carson, I'm putting 1. I'm dead serious. I'm putting Tom Izzo 1.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the face of Detroit, of Michigan sports.
Where would Jared Goff fit? Well, joking aside, before we go, I know it's getting late. Where would Jared Goff fit? He's got to be top 5.
I would say he's top 5. I mean, literally, like Blake Griffin's a mess. He's probably going to be shipped off probably sometime soon. If somebody can take care of his atrocious contract, I literally can't maybe Dylan Larkin with the Red Wings. But yeah, everybody came and gone. We had a lot of great athletes that came through Detroit and they just got sick of it. I mean, case in point with Stafford, he's like, I'm done. I'm tired of losing. I don't blame him. I mean, Detroit as a whole, it's not the same as it once was, So it's just, I mean, it's horrible. And I can kind of relate to you guys with like you guys being Knicks fans. Like Detroit is just painful to watch every single year. I mean, no matter what sport it is. So
yeah, it's tough. Oh, I think we're going to wrap it up, right, Kurt?
Yeah, we're good. I have a question for Carson. If we have one more second,
one more second.
We talk about Detroit. Who would, in your opinion, give me the top 3 Detroit Lions of all time? I mean, you can add Barry Sanders. Don't go past Barry Sanders. So go Barry. I mean, I don't even know. Did you see Barry play, or were you too young to see Barry play?
I was too young. I saw highlights of him. It's funny. I just went to the NFL Hall of Fame this past summer, and I saw his bust and everything. So that was really cool. I mean, hands down, top 3 Lions: Barry Sanders, Megatron, Matthew Stafford,
Okay, so Stafford
without
is
hesitation.
a top 3 in your opinion.
I think so for sure. Yeah, what he
Okay.
did for Detroit was almost unmatched. I mean, I know he. I mean, and that's just it. Like, and you're gonna see when he's with the Rams, when he has a core around him, they're gonna see why he's gonna make a deep run in the playoffs with them this year.
All right,
So.
and you know what? I got one for Marty too. Since we gave Carson a tough one, he mentioned Baltimore Orioles. Marty, you ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Who are the 3? Who would you say is the last 3 best Baltimore Orioles in the last 5-6 years?
Well, Manny Machado would definitely be one for me. And then it's tough because Chris Davis was really, really good, but then he fell off a cliff, and I mean hard. But there for a few years, he was, one of the most feared hitters in the league. And 5-6 years, I'd go Adam Jones, center field. He was always solid out there too as well. We haven't had too much talent since like the 2004 team. We've been kind of in a rebuild and just shuffling around, but good
2
things
guys
to come.
I loved on the Orioles since I've lived down here and followed them a little bit. No longer, well, one is no longer on the team. The other one might still be. I loved Wieters, catcher.
Mm-hmm.
And Trey Mancini. I think he's still on the team, right? He was.
Yeah, he actually got diagnosed with stage
Yep.
3 colon cancer, and he ended up beating it, but I think his playing days might be behind him.
Marty, a couple of comments. One for this one from Marty. Eddie Murphy saying, "What about Zach Britton on the Baltimore Orioles? Would you put him?"
Yes, he was great too. He was a great closer. They had those years in 2014, 13, 14, 15. We had a lot of bullpen talent.
And let's go around the panel on this one.
I don't know if Marty's got a few more minutes. I know it's getting.
Oh,
late.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm hopping on with the Viva Los Bills.
Who are coming on. He's going on there, and I'm going
Okay.
to him too. But we can stay on a couple more minutes, Kurt.
Yeah, stay on, guys.
My last question.
Marty.
All right,
Marty,
thank you.
intercept your lunch. Check him out. He's going to.
Yeah.
We'll check him out. We'll post it on here and share it, Marty. We'll see you in a few.
Thank you, Marty.
See you, Marty.
Thank you, guys.
Marty.
Take care,
All
man.
right, last question, and this is going towards. We'll all answer, but it's going towards Carson. We're getting a comment from Eddie saying, "I don't know how Megatron got in before Terrell Owens. Agree or disagree? Who would you put in before, Megatron or Terrell Owens?" Look, this is firing Carson up. Look, Carson's getting fired up on this one.
I mean, and that's just it. Like Terrell Owens, like phenomenal wide receiver, but I mean, you're gonna put him over Megatron, like. Come on, man. I mean, like, I totally agree though. Like, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer for sure. But I mean, the guy Megatron. I mean, in my eyes, you could argue he's the best receiver of all time. I mean, just pure like no one was going to stop him. You put 3 guys on him, yeah, he's going to go up and make a catch 50-50 ball. He was going to pull down it. I mean, just growing up watching him. I mean. Yeah, and if you're talking about comparison, Megatron hands down. But no disrespect either to Terrell Owens. I feel like he's gonna. He definitely deserves. Like he is way overdue. But I think Megatron deserved it more than he did.
Sis, what about you? Calvin Johnson, Terrell Owens. Who would you put in first?
I like Megatron rather. I never liked Terrell Owens, another hot dog, along with Deion Sanders.
You know what? I'm with both. I'm with Carson. I think again he was the better.
Don't get me
player.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. They were both good. I don't like. I'm old school, man. I don't like show-offs on football field. I just don't like.
No,
it.
I agree. So I'm gonna go with you. And Kenny, what about you?
Agree with Sis with the hot dog. And talent-wise, I am going to say Megatron was a little better than Owens. We got to watch Megatron on Thanksgiving, get to watch, back when Megatron was playing, we didn't have DirecTV. DirecTV was just coming into existence. But we got to see him on Thanksgiving. That guy, you would see him on a highlight reel on.
Yeah, he was unreal.
Every game. And
yep.
Most receiving yards in a single season, boys. Can't top
He
it.
was sick.
You know,
Yeah, he was sick.
Dan Marino in the NFL for not making it, not winning the big game. Then you got to put Calvin Megatron in there for not getting there because it's the team around him. He put up the numbers on a bad team. He deserves to be there. in my opinion.
And Kenny, my last topic of the night, I promise I'll be 20 seconds,
You're
is
fine.
this is for our boy Mr. Beelan, because he commented last night during our awesome tribute to Briggs last night. He said, "Great tribute, and don't worry, he's going to take Briggs's role of arguing with me." So if he's listening, hopefully he's listening. Mr. Valenti is 2 for 2. Two of the worst football deals with quarterbacks. Mr. Goff, gone. Mr. Wentz, gone. He said they will not be traded. I said they will be traded. The next two terrible football deals, Mr. Cousins and Mr. Garoppolo, will both be gone and gone. I'm 2 for 2. He's 0 for 2. And I will be 4 for 4 because Cousins won't be a Vike and Garoppolo sure as hell ain't quarterbacking for Shanahan. That's what I got to say. So, Mr. Beelan, bring it on that one.
Yeah,
Are we getting the
question,
costume? Are we getting
Quick
the costume?
question, Kurt. Does Garoppolo and Cousins, do they flip-flop?
They might. But they're
Goff
neither
and
one.
Stafford did. Do they flip-flop because Shanahan likes Cousins? Does Garoppolo go to Minnesota?
Possibility, but they're not playing on their teams because Shanahan is not going. Shanahan knows he can't win with Garoppolo, and the Vikings are furious with Cousins. So
My question is, are we getting the costume?
we got to get the costume. He lost that bet. We should.
We
I want a costume.
we all knew the Cousins deal was atrocious.
But that's it.
That's it. Absolutely.
So
Megatron retired early in his career too. If he wasn't with the Lions, he would have kept going and going and going, man.
there was always rumors of
Hey, wait.
Megatron going to New England.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
all right, boys.
A great show. Big thanks to Marty, Intercept Your Lunch, for joining us again tonight. Carson, Ticket Time, please plug your show and what you got upcoming tomorrow and Monday. Not tomorrow.
Yeah, Saturday. It's going to be the
Saturday.
biggest stream I've ever done for a live casino balance. So you guys don't want to miss it. It's going to be at 8:30 Eastern time. We're going to be doing some giveaways on my YouTube channel, Ticket Time. It's always a blast. We hope to see you there.
I'm working Saturday. but-
Carson, I have to apologize for Kenny. He's been bringing me on your show for the last 4 weeks, but it's what's the name of your show? Ticker what?
Ticket Time.
Ticket Time. I'm going to write it down and get myself on.
Awesome.
There you go. I'm going to be
Sounds
working
good.
Saturday, but I always listen.
I learned a long time ago. Don't depend on anybody.
Thanks, sis. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You know me, Kenny. I tell it like it is.
That's it.
Sorry.
He's real. I'm joking.
My final word for this evening. Watch my hands, Kurt. USC on Saturday night.
We got to get the lock of the week. That's the lock of the week.
He
That's
just said
it.
it. He just said it. USC over
I'm with him. I'm with it. I'm on board.
Carson.
Carson, 8 out of 8 on Tuesday.
There you go, man.
Queen of Claus is saying thank you for placing your bets today, Carson.
Wait a
Hey,
minute.
what's up,
Carson,
Queen?
If I'm not mistaken, the site you're on has a sports book, right?
Yep, they've got a
There you
sports
go.
book.
8 for
as
8,
well.
sis. Send the bets Carson's way. Get his audience listening to the bets.
Oh, wait a minute.
Have a
We
little
could
segment on
We
Carson's
could
show, sis.
wager sports with you.
Sis, you could be YouTube famous.
Wait a minute, Carson. We could put sports wagers in with you too.
Yeah, if you want. Yep, they've got a sports book on their site. Yep.
God.
No. No way.
Sis, let's go in
No.
Saturday night. Let's put something in.
Does he have Cash App?
Yeah, if you want, I can make it happen. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
no right. It was just kind of a
little promotion type
Yeah.
of thing. You know, yeah, if you guys want, we'll do something.
Let's do it.
We don't have to do it this side. We'll do an upcoming one. We'll sponsor something.
Oh, I'm in.
Cool.
I'm in.
We'll sponsor something in the near future. And part of our sponsorship will be a sports bet.
sweet.
I'll set
Awesome.
it up with Carson in the upcoming weeks. We'll do something, the three of us with Carson.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah,
What
I
was
would
the name
say,
of that?
yeah, Michigan, Ohio State Sunday. I mean, that's a game I'm going to make sure I have on my calendar. That's going to
Absolutely.
be a phenomenal game to watch for college basketball.
Kurt, do you remember this name? Art Bocelli?
Absolutely. I remember Art Bocelli.
Yeah, that was my horse. I had a horse.
Joey and Teresa drove for 4 hours.
They came to see me see the horse.
The horse
race.
broke.
I gotta let's
You
wrap
can't
it.
make it up. You can't make it up.
Hey,
Boys,
let's wrap
great
it
show.
up.
Can't
Great
make it
show
up.
as always, Carson.
Good
Always.
show tonight,
Yeah,
though.
always a pleasure. Thanks again,
Kenny, it's
K and
all in
K,
good
for
fun,
having me on
Kenny.
for sure.
We'll see you on Saturday, Carson. I'll text you.
Awesome. Sounds good. We'll see you, boys. Have a great
See you,
weekend.
Have a good night,
Carson.
guys.